Hey everybody, it's Steve with Sky194, and I appreciate you stopping by to check out my video. And today we are at Suzuka with the Bentley Continental GT3 car, and I had a request for a setup for the car. So I went ahead and ran the aggressive, do my normal stuff with the aggressive. And actually, I keep more fuel in it now. I just leave the fuel alone at 62 liters. And all I did is change the steering ratio, and that's it, everything else. And then I optimized the tires and ran a while, probably 30 minutes or so. And the best I could get out of it, and it was just a one-time shot, was a 202.6. 67, I think it was a 202.67, which I thought was pretty good for me, especially never running the Bentley here at Suzuka. But mostly it was mostly 203s, low 203s. So I went ahead and worked on a setup. So let's make a few laps and then go over the setup. Of course, you can run out wide and downshift and then go up through here. Here I stay in third gear, try to clip these curves, but be gentle. Be very gentle on the brake on the car as through here, as you don't want to, lose it. Got on the grass a little bit too much there. And then here, make sure when you open it up that you're not going to run out wide, because if you do, if you catch it, it's going to just pull you right off. So make sure you're not going to run wide. And then watch these curves. I try to hit them not as hard, just kind of barely touch them, because otherwise they upset the car a lot. And of course around here, as soon as I get around this curve, I hit the brakes. This next turns up here are pretty tricky. It's off camber, so you just gotta feel it and just not get too aggressive. Go out wide a little bit, and I downshift and then try to hold close and let it drift a little bit. I was probably catching it a little bit. It's like an off camber, so it'll catch you. I mean, if you're not really on top, if you just go through there and just hammer it, the back end will come out. And then here I just blip it barely and just hold it wide open, so I just blip it a little bit and go. And I hit the 100 brake marker. A little bit wide there. That was a 202.34. Watch this curb up here. It's got a bad bump if you hit it in the beginning, but I just try to be smooth through there and then get on the gas as early as I can through here. And right around the 50 or just below it, I hit the brakes. Try to cross. Downshift again. Like I said, I barely touch those curves, or I try to. Right here, the curbing right there, my brake marker. And again, let drift out wide, but then try to pull back in, but just be, easy on the throttle, because it will come around. Then down here, I just very much just tap the brake at the 50 and turn. That's better. That was a 202.07. I love that color scheme on the Bentley. I love that green. It's such a pretty color. I think the car did, pretty decent around here, around Suzuka. I mean, I think the track does, likes it. 202.40 was that one. So, and then I went ahead and did another lap, and I think it was right around the same time. So let's go to the garage. Of course, my fast was a 202.07. So, or 07. Let's see what we got. And at the setup, I got 26.4 in the left front, 26.7 left rear, 26.4 right front, and 26.4 right rear. The toe was a negative 0.7 on the front, and the camber was at a negative 3.6 with the caster at 13.1. On the rear, the toe was 0.07, and the camber was a negative 2.7. So that's that. Electronics are 3 and 4. Fuel, I had 62 liters with the number 1 brake pad. And as you can see, that this was the tires that I had on it, and there was no graining at all for those laps. So, I mean, that's a good start, good wear, even wear all the way across. So that was very, very good. Mechanical, I had 6 on the anti-roll bar, 61 on the brake bias. Steering ratio was turned all the way down. The wheel rate or springs are 155,000 all the way around, all 4 corners, with the bump stop rate at 1100 on the front and a 1 bump stop range. And on the rear, the bump stop rate is 700 and the bump stop range is 5. The anti-roll bar is 4 and the preload on the diff is 120. And I have played with all this stuff, moved it around to different things, done a lot of ups and downs with the diff, trying to get it to rotate and be controllable. Let's see, the shocks or dampers on the front is 20, 14, 20, and 25. And on the rear, it's 18, 15, 24, and 22. Aero, ride height's 57 on the front and 78 on the rear, with a 7 rear wing and a 4 and a 3 and a brake ducts. And the front aero variation is negative 4.1. So it's got negative aero downforce. So again, I think it's a good combination. I'm sure there's still a little bit more in it, but it's a really good base setup. And of course, brake ducts and tires are subject to temperatures. So obviously, if it's really cold, you can close these brake ducts up some, but you'd have to raise the pressure of the tires, or vice versa. If it's super hot, you're gonna might have to open the brake ducts and lower the pressure on the tires. So those are all subject to the temperature. I do all these setups the same, so everything's the same for each car as far as the temperature is concerned. Um, but other than that, like I said, there was no uneven wear, and I think is doing pretty good. A 2020 as Suzuka for me is decent, especially for this car that I've never ran there. So I hope it works for you, and I sure hope you give me feedback. Any comments or feedback would be great, and I sure hope that you try it out. And please hit the thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and hit the bell to support the channel. I really would appreciate it. And just want to say thank you to everybody. And I sure hope you come back and visit soon. And y'all take care. See ya.